Today, we will talk about how to build a lean-to shed. Let's have a look at the details. A lean-to shed is a great structure to keep in your backyard and fill with gardening supplies, landscaping tools, or whatever else you need to store. You can build a lean-to shed relatively inexpensively with materials purchased at a local hardware or home supply store. Since a lean shed is relatively small and lightweight, you won't need to worry about pouring a concrete foundation. As its name suggests, the roof of a lean-to shed slopes down from the rear, rather than peaking in the center. The first step is constructing the shed's floor. Cut the joists to the intended width of your shed. Joists are the cross beams that will lie on the ground and hold together the outer framing of the floor. Lay out the front and back beams of the floor. Use 2x6 treated lumber for these beams as well. The front and back beams will provide the outline of your shed's floor. Fasten the joists to the floor beams using 3 1/2-inch galvanized screws. Attach 4 skid beams to the floor. The skid beams should be made of 4x4 treated lumber. Each skid beam should run the full length of the shed, e.g. 16 feet. Cover the framed floor with 3/4-inch plywood. The plywood will form the flooring of the shed. The second step is erecting the side, front, and back walls. Frame the shed's 4 walls from 2x4 lumber. Frame each wall by nailing together 2 2x4 beams for the top and sides. The bottom of the wall should be a single 2x4 beam. Be sure to measure each beam before cutting or nailing them together, so that the walls will be properly framed. Attach joists at 22-inch intervals within each framed wall. Leave a 21-inch gap in the front wall for your door. Raise and attach the side walls with 2 1/2-inch screws. Lift up the 2 side walls and set them in place on the 2 sides of the framed floor, making sure that the edges and corners of the walls align with the edges of the floor. Raise and attach the front and back walls with 2 1/2-inch screws. Attach siding to the 4 walls. Once the walls have been framed and are set in place, you're ready to attach the outer siding. And the third step is building the shed roof. Frame the top side wall of the lean-to roof with 2x4 lumber. Since a side wall of the shed will be higher than the other side, you'll need to construct a small add-on wall for the side. Screw the add-on wall to the top of one side of the shed. Cut rafters from 2x4 beams. Each rafter should be 168 inches long in order to cover the sloping roof and hang off of the far side. Fit the rafters in place on top of your roof. Space each rafters 24 inches away from the adjacent rafters. If you've made your rafter cuts correctly, the rafters should all fit snugly in place and slope evenly from the higher side wall down over the lower side wall. Attach the rafters to the walls using collar ties. Use 2 to 3 2-inch nails to attach a collar tie to each rafter about 2 feet from where it rests on the wall. Insert 5 support beams on the front and back of the shed to hold up the sloping roof. Use a circular saw to cut 2x4 beams into support beams. Cut siding panels for the back, front, and high sides of the shed. Measure the uncovered gaps on the upper portions of the shed and use a circular saw to cut siding sections of corresponding sizes. Attach the siding panels using 2-inch nails. Screw 3/4-inch sheets of plywood to the top of the roof. For the shed's roof, purchase large sheets of plywood that are 96 by 48 inches in size. Paint or stain the walls and roof of the shed to finish them. You can also paint the door. The stain will draw out the natural color of the wood, while the paint will cover the wood. Use a 3-inch paintbrush to apply 3 to 4 coats of paint or stain to the sides and top of the shed. Give the paint or stain at least 48 hours to dry before you touch it. Thanks for watching this video. Please don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel if you like our videos.